It was a shame for Claudia Winkleman. Her talk show had almost all the ingredients for success. In fact, its concept was considered similar to the Graham Norton show, only without Graham Norton himself. However, the show failed to attract viewers. After just one season, Winkleman decided to step down, admitting she was too nervous to really enjoy it. This failure further fueled the long-held belief that women are less successful as talk show hosts. Before Winkleman, several figures, including Davina McCall, Lily Allen, and Charlotte Church, had also hosted talk shows under their own names, but all had less than successful runs. The only woman considered a truly successful talk show host was Mrs. Merton, although that character was a fictional comedic figure. Conversely, many male hosts have had great success in this genre, from Graham Norton, Jonathan Ross, and Alan Carr, to legendary names like Terry Wogan, Michael Parkinson, and Russell Harty. Claudia Winkleman, however, is known for her intelligence, wit, and warmth. He had a huge success hosting the Traitors and bringing a fresh energy to Strictly Come Dancing. So why didn't his talk show succeed? When the first episode aired, two weaknesses were immediately apparent: the host's nervousness and the lack of A-list guests. The lack of high-profile guests wasn't entirely Winkleman's fault. Graham Norton's show, on the other hand, aired in the autumn when many Hollywood stars were promoting films for the Oscars season, making it easier to attract world-class guests. However, nervousness was a much bigger issue. Winkleman didn't seem his usual natural self. He seemed too fixated on a pre-prepared list of questions. His desire to be friendly made his questions lack sharpness. In the first episode, for example, he even asked each guest if they liked the color of the sofa in the studio, then introduced the show's decorator and asked guests like Jeff Goldblum and Jennifer Saunders to compliment the set design. The article's author argues that male hosts would likely not approve of such a stale format. They would also be less likely to suppress the spontaneous and engaging side of their personalities or be too reserved with their guests. When Winkleman's show was compared to his own, Graham Norton defended himself by saying, "She doesn't have to try to be me, she just has to be Claudia, and she does it." However, according to the author, this wasn't the case. A glimpse of Claudia's true self was revealed in the final episode when the conversation turned to zodiac signs. In a comment he thought would be cut during editing, Winkleman said, "Can I say this? It won't be aired anyway. I think anyone who actually believes in zodiac signs is stupid." This spontaneous honesty turned out to be one of the show's funniest moments. Unfortunately, as the season progressed, Winkleman didn't seem to relax any further. Steering a conversation between four celebrities, all vying for the spotlight, requires a strong sense of authority and confidence. Meanwhile, Winkleman's image has been built on his extreme humility and frequent self-deprecation. Furthermore, Winkleman's antics on Strictly Come Dancing and the Traitors worked because they provided a refreshing break from the otherwise serious competition atmosphere. In contrast, a talk show host is expected to be entertaining almost constantly. This is what makes Graham Norton so successful, as he is a comedian at heart. The BBC itself was confident from the start that the show would be a success. In fact, someone involved in its production once said before the premiere, "Of course it's going to work. It's Claudia." Some might think Winkleman gave up too quickly, but on the other hand, it's admirable that he had the courage to admit the show's failure and take responsibility for the outcome. As he said in his farewell statement, "Sometimes you just have to try something first to see if it's really for you."